Hey there, horror movie tea sippers.
The following podcast episode will contain spoilers for the movie we are about to review. If you have not seen the movie and do not wish to have anything ruined prematurely, please do not continue to watch or listen until you have seen the movie.
And welcome to the Horror Movie Tea Podcast. Today we are covering Jason X, which was requested by either Carrie or V, or both. One of the two.
One of the two.
But before we go into the review, let's grab our cups and talk about tea. We have so many requests, you guys. So many.
Good problem to have. We enjoy this problem.
To have, but we're going to probably start having to do a poll of which movies people want us to cover first.
Yeah.
Because,
there's a lot.
We have like a year and a half worth of content. I'm just like...
We have a whole list.
Yeah. But anyways.
That's fine.
Today, I am doing the Plum Deluxe Reading Nook blend.
Our favorite.
Our favorite. I had to do it. It's got blackberry. It's got black tea, rosebuds, lavender, chamomile, and natural flavor.
It does not have blackberry.
No, just black tea.
Just making that clear.
Yes.
That one does have caffeine, but it does also have the option online to have no caffeine in it. So they do have a caffeine-free version that still has basically everything else the same. So you don't have to sacrifice the taste if you're trying to watch your caffeine intake. I think that's very nice. Not many places have that option available.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I am still drinking the Bigelow Perfectly Mint tea that just has black tea and spearmint. Simple ingredients, but it's good stuff.
Yes.
So.
Had a hiccup. But thank you so much, Plum Deluxe, for allowing us to continue to do what we love. Yes. And for our tea sippers out there, brew yourself a cup of tea, sit back, relax, and we hope you enjoy the review. And of course, in the comments, maybe mention what tea you're drinking while you're listening to us. That'd be cool. But anyways, so Jason X. Where do I begin? So, since Jason doesn't die, they've tried a multitude of things to kill him, and he does not die. So instead, they're like, oh, we will keep him and do research.
They're like, fine, we'll freeze him.
Yeah, and then they end up freezing him and a doctor for it's 455 years, I think.
Yes.
And this random spaceship from the future finds them and unfreezes them. And Jason does what he likes to do and causes chaos on the ship, and it's them trying to escape. And then in a bit of irony, he ends up back in the lake.
Real quick, though.
What?
I know I was going to say this later, but can we please real quick talk about the fact that when he wakes up, it's because he senses sex happening nearby? That's kind of how it came across, is I sense sexual energy.
Yeah. There's a lot of sexual energy on board.
I couldn't help but laugh hysterically, though. And I mean, he killed the lady that was right there immediately. I feel like that was more of convenience than anything. But then he went straight for the ones having sex.
We haven't even made it to entertainment,
I couldn't help it, though.
We will talk about sex later.
Let's continue with entertainment, shall we?
So for entertainment, after the kids go to bed, we'll talk about sex.
Probably not.
For entertainment, I would give this a 7. So as far as bad movies go, it's definitely a pretty solid one. It's not, I don't know if it's the fact that it was in space or what, but it's not one that I would normally watch over and over again. But, like, I can't explain it. Like, I think it's the fact that it's in space. Like, the fact that it's a cringy sci-fi movie. Like, I just don't tend to rewatch a lot of those. But this is a good one. It is pretty funny. And the fact that there's, like, these horror elements. It's like space and horror. It's just fantastic. But
You can have so much go wrong so easily in space.
yes, the movie was pretty solid as far as like it knew what it was and it stuck with it all the way through. But my one criticism is I felt like there were too many people on board because the kills after a little bit felt a little bit redundant. But that did lose me, unfortunately. That did kind of make me be like, okay, is this movie about to end? When are you going to end? But I will say it came back to being exciting again whenever Jason gets his upgrade by the nanobots.
Yes.
That was just ridiculous. So his eyes did look kind of creepy.
Yes, for sure.
But everything else is dumb. But yeah, it is your perfect, like, cheesy, it's like, it's got the atmosphere of a terrible sci-fi movie, but then it's got the tropes of a terrible horror movie. Like the doctor, where she kept hearing him waking up, and she'd look around, and she'd be like, oh, it's nothing. And she'd just go back. I'm like, I'm sorry. If I kept hearing the same noise, I would then turn and just stare at his body for however long it takes before I hear the noise again, just to confirm that's not him.
Mm-hmm.
Just, oh. And it did... Look, this movie did a decent job of the trope of, you know, what do you call it? The person shouting wolf being like, no, don't do it. It's a bad idea. And then them ignoring her. Mm-hmm. And then it ends up turning to chaos. They did it.
It turns into an I told you so moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that it did it pretty well. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's like I don't have... It's kind of a whole package. It's kind of hard to nitpick it and be like, this is good, this is bad. Like, overall, it told the story pretty well. Whenever the story started to drag on, they then had him, like, level up. Yeah. And then it kind of made it interesting again. Like I said, my only complaint is I feel like there are just too many characters to keep up with, and after so many of them get killed, it got a little bit boring for me. But besides that, I'm glad I watched it. There were quite a few really funny moments, like whenever he takes one of the sleeping bags and is beating the other person with the person that's in the sleeping bag. It's
That's
just
my favorite scene.
like I was cackling. I was just like,
he's done with the campers. He's too good.
Oh my goodness, that definitely was a shining moment in the movie. But yeah, it
was amazing.
It's definitely... I didn't get any tension from the movie. It's like... It's just one of those dumb horror movies where you sit back and watch the chaos unfold. Yeah. There's not really any tension or anything like that. So if you're looking for a tense, scary movie, this is definitely not it.
This is not the one. This is the one to laugh at.
Yeah, this is like a Friday the 13th parody. Yes. But it's an official movie.
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy. It kind of boggles my mind. I'm like, how did this get made? But It's fun. It's a fun movie.
So I also gave it a 7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's a solid 7 for me. It is it ridiculous? Abso-freaking-lutely. Does it lean into it? Yes. But not obnoxiously so. Like, you know what you're getting. It's a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah, it's consistent at being weird.
Yeah. To be perfectly honest, once you've seen the first 2, you've basically seen them all. There's nothing new, really. It changes location, and it varies up the kills a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. So, it's nothing new, but it is fun. You know exactly what you're getting with it. And it's entertaining as hell to watch. It does drag a little bit toward the end, but it's still fun and funny. And they have a lot of humor in it because they know it's ridiculous. It's Jason in space. But they have fun with it. And you can really tell that the actors had fun in it too. And they were pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like the acting was really good. The effects were good too. There's a whole bunch wrong with the realism. It's Jason in space. There is no realism at this point.
Yeah.
But the effects were all great, and the acting was good, and a lot of the reactions were great. So it's a really solid 7 of a movie. I'm glad I've watched it. My husband actually was the one that had me watch it first a couple years back because I had never seen it, never heard of it at that point. He's like, Jason X, yeah, it's basically Jason in space. And I'm like, well, now I have to watch it. And I'm so glad that someone finally requested it for this podcast because I don't regret it at all. It's not the first one I go to for a stupid, funny horror movie, but I do watch it every couple of years, just for the lulz.
Is it Tucker and Dale that you go for
Yes.
a dumb movie?
Yes. For a stupid horror movie, yes. That one's hilarious, and it's great. This one is also funny, but it drags a little bit. And again, it's Jason in space. You can only watch so much of the random slaughter. Like, it's next.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But we'll get to a lot of this in the realism. But I do appreciate certain scenes like the beating the campers with each other in the sleeping bag, or the Doom reference when they ask if, do you have a BFG? I loved it. I'm so happy they put that in there. I don't know why they would have put it in there. But it worked. So it was great. There's just so much wrong with it, realism skill-wise, though. Let's go ahead and continue to that, shall we?
Yeah, so for realism, I would give this a 1. And
So proud we're samesies again.
oh my gosh. What is happening?
Converting you.
Well, I'm also converting you, because it'll be like on things on the entertainment.
Slightly.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be quite as harsh on the entertainment. I used to be super harsh.
Yeah, I feel like there's some older episodes I'm like,
We'll probably
might
have
wanna
to
redo those.
Yeah, reevaluate certain ones. But we were just getting into the groove of it then.
yes.
Anyway,
But anyways. Yeah, don't listen to our super old episodes unless if you enjoy torturing
super
yourself.
cringe.
Yeah, our recent stuff is better. But, I mean, that's how it always is. But anyways, unless if you're a seasoned podcaster, which we are not.
Nope.
We're seasoned on this podcast now, it seems. But even now, I'm like, we're always like changing stuff.
We're
like,
so chaos.
Yep.
Over here.
You're like,
Everything is chaos.
Yes. But so Realism, I would rate it a 1 because almost every part of the movie, okay, it's kind of like Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter and the fact that almost all of it.
Why you touchy? No touchy. No touch.
The fact that almost all of it is unrealistic. Where there's a scene for it to be realistic, it will be unrealistic. Just to name a few parts, the fact that his machete can go through metal, especially since it's a cryo chamber. Excuse you.
Thick door.
Yeah. No. And then the fact that the people were so unobservant, like specifically the doctor in the beginning, how she just kept looking around and she's just like, oh, this is fine. And she just like goes back to her work. I also have concerns about their choice of clothing.
Yeah, that was weird.
They had some, I mean, maybe they're, it feels like early 2000s, they're just experimenting with futuristic clothing.
Well, it did come out in 2001, so that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just like they're all about the crazy clothing. And
It just seemed a little out of place.
Yes. And then the nanobots thing, like, what the heck?
It was kind of cool.
I mean, the nanobots were cool. Like, the nanobots themselves are possible. But whenever it would, like, hit the error, and it's like, error denied, or whatever the thing was, or...
Override denied.
Yeah.
Like no one put in an override in a certain amount of time, so it went ahead and did it.
Yeah, that's a problem.
A little bit.
Like,
that's a bit of a flaw.
Yeah, just... Their technology had really strange flaws that were convenient to the movie. Yeah. Like I was telling this whole movie is literally the movie's got a movie. Like everything that happens is convenient exclusively for the movie. Because if you think about it, even for a little bit, you're like, that makes no sense. Like, especially the girl that was, like, in the spaceship where they're like, open the door, and she's like, no! And then she immediately, like...
They're like, the fuel line is still attached.
Yeah, and she immediately, like, kills herself. Yeah. Just...
Because she was trying to escape and didn't listen to them. Yeah.
Yeah, but if I know Jess more than likely has multiple points. But I know for me personally, if I just listed out every single one, it would be a lot and we'd be here forever. So just in summary, the whole movie is practically unrealistic. So what would you rate it?
So I give it a 1 for different reasons.
Okay.
So the effects and blood and everything were fairly accurate.
Yeah. Good budget for that.
Mm-hmm. That being said, and the space station itself, it needs a certain amount of crew to run it. So I understand the number of people. I feel like there were a couple of extras that they didn't necessarily need.
Yeah, it's like that would be convenient for the plot, though. Yeah. You know, it's like they could have a spaceship that's more self-sufficient.
They could. But when things go wrong on the spaceship, it makes sense. And how certain areas were exploding, it added a little bit to the urgency of them needing to get help and get away. Mm. Not only do you have to deal with Jason, but your ship is starting to blow up around you. Which makes sense. If you have a breach in the hull, there's going to be problems.
Yeah.
That being said, everything else was no. Like, in the very, very beginning, when we start off, we have no idea how we even got out of the chains. And then somehow he has randomly a machete. I don't know where he got the machete from. They didn't show it anywhere in the area. But all of a sudden, he has his machete. Like he pulled it out of his ass or something. I don't know.
Ouch.
But he has it. Try keeping that in your prison wallet. But,
God. Oh, I'm sorry, it just hit me what that means.
you never realized that before?
I haven't heard of that saying, that phrase before.
How have you not?
I don't.
Where have you been?
Oh.
Anyway. But then to plunge it through a thick metal door of the cryo chamber, like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Then, after he plunges it through the thick metal of the cryo chamber, when they find him 450 plus years later, when he has it raised above his head and falls forward, even with it covered in ice, it's sharp enough to go straight through someone's arm and sever it with no
dumb.
jagged edges or anything. Like, it was a clean precision laser freaking cut through there. No. No.
Plus, I guess with him falling, I didn't think about this before. I'd be concerned about his body.
Yeah, it would have
crumbling.
shattered.
Yeah.
That was my next point.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
But thank you. Yes, that's correct. He awakens when there's sexual energy because he can just sense it apparently, but this is Jason. This is nothing new. Also, this might be accurate. I just am a little disappointed by the fact that in the year 2455, we're apparently still using bullets.
Yes!
They made everything else super futuristic. They have freaking nanobots, for crying out loud, but they can't have phaser guns.
That is very
Rude.
true.
I am disappointed.
I'm also disappointed that they didn't do the like
Right? Not once.
feel like because whenever you're like, oh, he has like sex senses, it's like, oh, because I like the it's like him
Yeah.
sensing it. It's like he knows.
Like, it's a thing. It's his thing. And you expect it. And we didn't get it all, and that is kind of disappointing. Also, when they give him his machete, when the idiot dude, commander of the ship or whatever, professor dude, gives him back his machete, thinking, oh, that's all he wanted. Like it's a fucking security blanket, and he just needed it for comfort.
It's his teddy.
It's his daddy. That everything would be fine and he would not be killed because he gave him back his machete. Sweetie, you just gave him the instrument of your own death. Good job. Stupid people. When there's a breach in the hull and there's like a mesh grate that
I see you
blocks
bumping
part of it. Oh,
your-
sorry. I can't help it. They're out there. It's a thing. Anyway, there's a mesh grate that blocks a good portion of it, so the hole doesn't like get the hole in the hull doesn't get bigger, but someone gets sucked to it. That is accurate, but her getting completely sucked through it is not, because bones are a thing. But apparently she's completely jello and all of it goes through. Blood, viscera, and all, and apparently she just has no bones, which is fine. Brodsky, or Brodsky, whatever the heck his name is, Soldier Boy, is controlling his movement outside with nothing. He's able to maneuver perfectly fine. He's not using any, like, jets or anything. No air movement. He's just able to float down to where he's at and stay without drifting at all. Exactly where he needs to. And then when there's an explosion and he comes off from the side, from nowhere, by the way, and takes out Jason, there's no way he's controlling anything. Ooh. There's no way he's controlling anything, but he's still able to do it. So I don't know if he's just telekinetic or what.
Yeah, because space is a vacuum, and plus I'm pretty sure we could hear the explosions on the pan out, and you would not hear anything.
Yeah, no. Yep, there's nothing.
Which, man, what? Like, I'd be terrified to be an astronaut. Just, it'd be so weird to your senses to, like,
Yes.
see something happen but not hear it.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Because sound is waves and it needs something to travel through, but space is a vacuum. So.
And then, of course, having, like, a piece of metal, a metal box be your one saving grace from being, like, destroyed from...
It's worse than the ocean.
Yeah.
I feel like. Personally, I know everybody's different, but personally, I feel like that's worse than the ocean. At least in
with
the ocean, you can drift.
Yeah, well, I'm like, if you're deep enough in the ocean, at least you'd get, like, crushed to death, which wouldn't be pleasant, but at least it would be quick.
Yeah, in space you would freeze and suffocate. Like, it would
At the same
pull
time.
out
Yeah.
all of the air from your body, and it's just not pleasant.
Yeah.
And a little bit slower. It's fairly quick still, but it's slower than
And then just the thought of your body just, like,
imploded.
floating into the nothingness versus, like, in the ocean, at least fishies can have a free meal.
Yeah. Give back to the environment,
Yep.
you know? And then finally, the falling to Earth happens to land directly into the exact same crystal lake. But with no explosion or anything on impact.
That's true.
Like, they did show upon re-entry, like, the fire and everything. That was fairly accurate, but there was no explosion upon the actual impact in and of itself. There was no sound, nothing.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. Again, most of it is completely inaccurate, but it's a Jason movie. Like, you know what you're getting with this. You know what you're getting with this. It's not going to be accurate, but it's entertaining as hell.
Yes.
But that's what I got.
Well, overall, like, if you enjoy dumb horror movies, but not, like, super stupid, like Velocipaster stupid, like
There's a line.
I feel like this is a movie that you're probably going to enjoy.
It's also higher budget.
Yes.
So at least the effects are decent.
Yeah. It does have pretty good effects,
Yeah.
with as dumb as it is. But yeah, it's a fun movie. It's one that you can find entertaining even if you watch it by yourself. But of course, it's always
more fun with a friend.
with a friend. But yeah, I think I'm glad that I got to watch it because I know I heard you and V talking about it quite frequently, and I just never watched it.
Yes. It's great. It's not scary. It's
No.
not scary. It can't be scary. At this point, we've seen so many Friday the 13th movies and variations that it cannot be scary.
Yeah, and there wasn't a lot of tension either. Like, it's literally just like sit back, eat popcorn, and just
Watch
enjoy
the
whatever
chaos.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is a chaotic movie. But it's controlled chaos, I feel like.
Yeah, it's not like, it's within reason.
Yeah.
I guess one could say.
It's chaos with a purpose.
Yes. Yes.
Structured chaos, which is kind of an oxymoron, but anyway.
Lawful chaotic?
Yeah, I guess. Not quite, but you know. Maybe chaotic neutral.
Yeah, maybe. But thank you, everyone who joined us today, and please comment on what you thought of the movie. If you'd like to recommend a movie, game, or tea, and keep up to date with our content, you can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and most places you listen to podcasts.
If you'd like to support the podcast, please subscribe, like, and share our content. If you'd like to support us monetarily, we do have our Teespring available with our mugs. The Please Don't Kill Me and I'm Going to Kill You at Some Point mugs, along with several other pieces of merch that we will hopefully display for you at some point later.
One day.
One day. We also have our affiliate link with Plum Deluxe and our PayPal that goes directly to us. The affiliate link for Plum Deluxe does not affect the price for tea at all. It does just allow us to continue to do what we love. And you can find all of the sites mentioned linked below. And until the next time, guys, stay safe and stay spoopy.
Bye.